Welcome to Chris Parkin Shooting Sports. I know what's in this box, and it is an FX King. It's arrived this morning, so we're going to take this out. I've learnt a long time ago, when they're wrapped in paper, you can't get them back in, so they'll have to be cut out. It's not like a nice cardboard box. But essentially, here we go. That's slightly more satisfying. Get rid of that. Let's have a look and see what's inside. So obviously we know the FX King is essentially a sort of update to an FX Crown, it would appear to me. Let me just see if I can figure out which way these all slot to unlock. There we go, and there it is. So that is the FX King. So it's a bit like a Crown in the fact we've got the laminate stock, but it's a GRS laminate stock. And it's a bit like the Dynamic and the Pantera because we've got the new sort of pressure architecture. AMP regulators have got the side gauge on here, the wicker gauges with the pressures, and we've got the over barrel plenum. Now this one looks a bit bigger because this is actually an FAC spec 22. It's come today from Sportsman Gun Centre and I'm going to be using it. Now this one is optimised for slugs, but similar to the other FX we've seen before, we've got a Foster filling adapter there, which will go on the underside to here, which is magnetically attached. That will fill up. It's probably a 250 bar fill, but we'll check on that when we do the full review. The magazine system is the ultra deep magazine system, so you can see how it's relieved on here to make sure you've got space for longer pellets and longer slugs. Now I have got a selection of pellets and slugs for this, including some of the new ultra heavy JSB slugs, but we're going to get shooting this quickly. It's got a 30 MOA inclined Picatinny rail on it, which should give us great long range potential. We can, as well as having the over barrel plenum here, it is screw cut here for an additional sound moderator. So I'll be using an additional sound moderator on it, just to keep the noise down a little bit. I need to do a full setup on this because with it being FAC, people are going to want to know exactly what power levels we can get out of it. And we've got the usual setup on the side here where we've got 23 power settings as well as macro and micro tuners. Now, the trigger, I'm just going to do a safe dry fire here. The trigger will be a dual stage unit, I'm thinking, and it is. So we've got a 2-stage unit there. Oh, probably got the safety catch on. Yes, we have got the safety catch on. There we go, 2-stage trigger, and that will fire off. And that's fully adjustable for, you know, the position of the trigger both vertically and linear by the looks of things. So that's going to be an interesting setup. Now, the GRS stock, it's got an adjustable cheek piece, so we can lift the cheek piece up. We've also got adjustable length of pull, so I can, in fact, press that button there and give me a greater length of pull. It's got a Limb Saver recoil pad on the back, I think. Limb Saver, actually, if you don't know, Limb Saver actually comes from the world of archery. That's where the Limb Saver comes from, because there used to be little sort of rubber donuts that fastened on the limbs of a compound bow to cut vibration. But there you go, there's a little bit of additional history for you there on why is it called Limb Saver. Cheek piece on there. Now, of course, this is very right-handed, this gun. I suppose in an absolute emergency, you could shoot it left-handed in a hunting situation, but it's not really very comfortable for that. The magazine will fit in here like that. Scope goes over the top of there, and just do another quick safe dry fire. And we've got a setup on that. So we've got Picatinny rail on the sides here on the right there, and I have actually got the Sabre Tactical bottle clamp as well. So I'm going to put that on and I'm going to use that with a bipod. So give me 1 second and I will go and dig that out. Keep the magazine, keep the Foster connection there. There is a detailed instruction manual because FX do give good instruction manuals which will cover setup, some of the tuning issues, handling, cocking, pressurization, and a lot of the options you can do as well in terms of different barrel liners, things like that. So this explains all the gauges, what's going on, because one of them is your fill gauge, it gives you remaining pressure in your bottle, and the other one is the regulator pressure as well. The bottle looks like, is it a 480 millilitre or is it a little bit smaller than that? The bottle is, no, it's 480 millilitres, 0.48 litres, so that's going to give me, depending on what power setting I use, I'm going to estimate it's going to be 100 to 150 shots, running at, I don't know, maybe 30, 35 foot-pounds. But we shall see all that in the full review. Let's just move this box out of the way now. So this is the Sabre Tactical bottle adapter, and this has actually still got the bipod stuck to it. This is a tier 1 bipod on here because I literally yesterday took this off the crown. And that will hopefully just slot on the front here onto the bottle, because the screws should already be quite loose on it. I'll just slide that on there into position like that. I'll tension that in a moment, slide it into position, just line it up a little bit. It's not tight yet, but you get the idea. That fits on there like that, and it means I've got a good long position for a bipod to give me plenty of stability when I'm shooting in that roll. Now, as I say, I've got to do the full rundown on this because I need to run it with pellets and slugs. So let's go and find some pellets and slugs. Right, so we've had a little dig through the armoury to see what's in the ammunition department. We have got pellets and we have got slugs. There are more than these. So I've got Zan slugs. I've got both the 28 and 25.5 grain Zan slugs. I've got some FX hybrid slugs. I have got my absolute favourite 18.13 grain exact jumbo heavy Diablos, which I absolutely love for rat shooting because they give me all the power I need without any over penetration. But I've also got these new, these are the exact jumbo monster Diablo slugs, and these are 25.39 grains. So let's have an open up of this. Let's see if I can find the end to the, where's the other end? It's there. Find that, pop these open and have a look at these. So these are super heavy. These are nearly as heavy as the heaviest slugs. And look at the length on those. Let's just compare that to one of the more usual 18.13 grain. That's quite a sizable difference there, isn't it? So one of the things that FX have done to help with this is that these new magazines are actually a deeper fit. So we spin all the way around there. That will pop in there. Hopefully we can put X number of more in it, and we've got more space to fit that in. So that will go in there, click on like that, and that will give me all the shots I need in last round hold open. So let's have a little look and get the heaviest Zan projectile, which is the 28 grain. Pop these out of here, try not to spill them everywhere. I hope I've got one of these open, but yeah, there we go, we've got one open there. Just flick one out, and similarly that will fit in there, and it's not going to foul the cap on there. It's still going to rotate freely. So that is one of the reasons why FX have gone for a new deeper style magazine. That has already been seen on the Crown and the Dynamic, and it works just as well as the previous one does. Just got a little bit more physical space inside it to make sure that everything is going to work happily. Right, well, I'll be shooting these on paper, maybe get out and do a bit of ratting as well, but I want to do a full workup and decide which of them is going to shoot the best. So you'll probably get 4 or 5 different group size on paper. I'll do some testing with FX chronograph. We'll see some ballistic coefficients, some velocity, and also some muzzle energy. And to see if this, it does look bigger than the Crown I've just swapped away from. The Crown 2. The Crown 2 was an FAC, and I just did a big review on that with 2 different barrel lengths, which I think were the, were they 500 and 800 millimeters, or 500 and 700 millimeters, or 400 and 700? Yeah, it was 400 and 700 millimeters. And that video shows you all about the velocity difference, that the difference in barrel length alone changes. I'll put a link to that on this video as well, because it's only done about a month ago. This looks like a pretty long barrel. I'm assuming that barrel in there is probably going to be about that. So it's going to be maybe 600 millimeters perhaps, but we shall see. This is all information for the full review. I just basically receive a box and then I have to figure it all out from there. But that's kind of half the fun of it for me. I like to investigate. So there we go. If you want to see the full review of this gun, please like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, which is there, and make sure you keep track of the regular uploads. Go all the way through to the end of the video because there's a link to the British Shooting Show 2024, the NEC Birmingham, and of course we are now in 2024, and it's only about a month away, 22nd to 25th of February, if I remember correctly, left the right of my head. So we shall hopefully see you there. These will all be visible on the Sportsman Gun Centre stand, and I am sure many other dealers as well. There is another new FX air rifle which has just been released within the last couple of days at SHOT Show, which I believe off the top of my head is called the DRS, and there's two versions of that, a sporting version, there's a chassis version as well. So we shall see what happens with those, because I think some of them are going to be sub 12 specific builds, which do look like a really nice hunting air rifle for the vast majority of UK airgun shooters. The Pro version is in an MDT chassis. Funny enough, it's pretty much the same chassis I've just reviewed on a Savage rifle. So we shall see how we get on with all of those. Right, thank you for watching. Bye for now. Since we're all set up and recording, I've just been in and got the scope out. This scope has just come off the crown, so hopefully that will go straight back on here. This is in worn quick release mounts, so that will fit like that. The high or the extra high worn mounts, so I just need to double check those will fit the magazine underneath them. There we go. Perfect. Right, I wouldn't normally put a night vision scope on a review rifle because they usually need a little bit more work with them, and zeroing and ballistics are a little bit different, but using the PAR DS is actually quite straightforward, and I do find it helps because I can film everything as well. It's just as good in daylight as it is in darkness. Yes, it's not got quite the long range potential of a dedicated optic, and I can use a dedicated optic for that. But for the moment, let's put that on there and give it a go. I can't close that bolt with an empty magazine in, but right, there we go. And I'll just show you that the other way around because I've got quick release levers on these worn mounts, which allows it just to lift straight on and off. And of course, a proper Picatinny rail should have exact dimensions and tolerances on it to make sure they are interchangeable between guns, which certainly appears to have been the case here, because all these FX receivers are fully computerized machine, so they are, you know, as good as it's going to get in terms of tolerances and precision. Right.